Okay. I haven't posted a video in a whole year, okay? But it's fine because what's going to happen is we're going to flip the script. My channel is normally about photography, side hustles, my vlog, what I'm doing. But now we're about to tackle something that is when God puts something on your heart, you actually have to be obedient to it. And as soon as He keeps repeating and repeating and repeating, and if you don't know what I'm talking about money and finances. But I'm just going to tell y'all my story, and then hopefully y'all follow along the journey with me. Here's a little story time. Grab your teacups, some popcorn. Here we go. Okay, so I got my bachelor's in information systems. The year before I graduated, I got an internship with the federal government. My plan was to graduate December of 2012, just because that was the year that all of my other friends were graduating, 2012. And so my counselor told me, she said, "Do you have a job? Like, why are you rushing to graduate?" I'm like, "Lady, I don't want to be here no more. I'm ready to go." Like, my friends graduated last semester. I'm ready to get out of here in December because all my people were gone. And that was because I kept changing my major. So, long story short, she told me, she said, "If you stay for an extra semester, since you don't have I didn't have a job lined up," she said, "I promise you can graduate with a job." I'm like, okay. That summer, that same summer, I got an internship with the federal government. Now, going in, I might have been making like 24,000 at the time. So for a college student who was working two jobs at the Y, I worked at the Y, I worked at a Thai place. Then I quit the Thai place and I was working at the Y, and I was working at my government job. Then I quit the Y and I just had my government job. So it was like, oh my God, I never had this much money. Like, I was a poor college student, okay? Trying to pay tuition, taking loans, like all the things. I was a true definition of a poor college kid. Thank God for my mom who, helped me out, my dad, my aunt, like my sisters. They would buy a book here and there and give me some cash, but it was a struggle all the way through. Long story short, I got this job, and I stayed there for my last year of college. And right when I was about to graduate, I met the CIO of the agency because I worked at headquarters, and he offered me an IT position. Now, this IT position was like a developmental position. So each year I would get, like, if you're familiar with the federal government pay system, the GS pay, I would get two GS levels every year as long as I did my training and as long as, like, I was on the right path. So grew the ladder very quickly. Hopefully one day I will write a book about that. But grew the ladder very quickly. One thing I didn't listen to was my CIO. He said, every time you get a pay raise, don't spend the money. He said, take that money and put it in your TSP. For folks who are not familiar with federal government, TSP is just our 401k. And so he was like, put that money into increase your TSP, whatever that amount is, the difference. I did not do it. Here we are. I did not do it. So every year I'm getting these increases, y'all. Getting the increases, but I'm maintaining. Like, I'm paying my own bills. I had my own I had an apartment for like maybe 2 years. Maintain that. Purchased my house at 25. I was doing well. It felt like I was doing well. But as I kept getting pay increases, so by the time I purchased my house, I think I maybe had just graduated from the program at my job. And so, like, now I'm at the top tier of the pay, but my money is going out of the window due to debt, right? So I love personal finance, always love personal finance, always want to help people with personal finance. And I've been wanting to do YouTube on finance, like personal finance, for a while. But I was nervous. Like, I was ashamed. I was embarrassed how much debt I had. But nobody would have known because I can pay the bill, right? We think because we can pay the bill, we're fine. But if you can't pay it off at the end of the month, don't put it on credit. I'm going to take y'all on the journey with me to pay off some of my debts. I'll tell you which ones I'm tackling. I'll give you percentages and all the things and like methods that have worked for me. I also want to talk about like retirement planning and 401ks and Roth IRAs. Like, I love personal finance, y'all. Like, love it to the T. I've helped a couple people. I've had some paid sessions for finance, but I'm just going to let you know now. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not certified in anything. This is just what I've learned by reading books, watching YouTube, talking to people who are older than me who've retired, or they're great with their money now and they're giving me all of their mistakes and telling me things that went well and didn't go well for them. So this is just a package of all my knowledge that I want to share. So if you're down with the journey, stick with me here, stick with me. What I realize is that everyone has debt, right? Whether that is a car loan, whether that is credit card, whether that is your mortgage payment, whether that is student loans, which I'm still paying my student loans, yes. But we all have debt. But sometimes we are afraid to talk to our friends and our family about it because we are ashamed. And you don't have to share numbers, but there's nothing wrong with having a conversation of, are you using Debt Snowball or are you using Avalanche to pay off your debt? Do you have a bill account? Do you have a spending account? Like, just little things to get people on track. So hopefully y'all are willing to rock with me. I'm super excited about this. Like, I'm excited, but I'm nervous because to put your business out here on YouTube is a big deal. But I've watched so many YouTubers, and I'll tag them below. Some of my favorite YouTubers when it comes to personal finance are regular people like me and you. Like, I love to hear them talk about how much debt they have, what payments they're making, what sacrifices they're making to pay off this debt. Like, the last couple of months, the chemistry in my mind has changed when it comes to money and paying things off. It's got me excited to the point where I don't want to spend, and it's got me excited to the point where I'm like, okay, this is the balance. This is when I want to pay it off. What do I need to pay every single month to get this car down to a certain amount? I just want to teach people what I'm learning because it's so much. Like, I'm gonna I'm gonna insert a picture of this little drywall thing that I have in my office behind the door. And I had so much information in my head when it came to 401ks, Roth IRAs, retirement planning, just savings in general, that I just had to write it out on the board. So I hope and I pray um, that I can help somebody else. And this is just going to be my diary on my finance journey, my debt free journey, my savings journey. Like, it's so much stuff that I want to spill out. But comment below and let me know if you're on a debt free journey too. You don't have to put any numbers, okay? You don't have to put no numbers. I'm just saying, because I know my numbers are high. But the first step is acknowledging that you have the debt, writing down the numbers. I have, like, I don't know if y'all see me looking at, I literally have an old school notebook. I have a new one on the way from Amazon today. Can't wait. But yes, literally like a old school college rule notebook with all of my debts, everything in there. I normally always write down my numbers. Like, it's something about pen and paper and writing it down and seeing it plain view. Um, because if you don't and you're trying to keep in your head like, what did I pay? What is the balance on this? I've never been the type of person to be afraid to check my accounts. Like, I know some people get nervous, but I need to see the numbers. It makes me feel better. So I'm not giving nobody homework because this ain't class. But first things first, like, figure out where you are financially. Where's your money? Where are the accounts? Like, do you have multiple checking accounts? Do you have multiple savings accounts across other banks? What are your debts? What's the interest rate that you paying? Like, y'all, the interest rate on these credit cards are insane. Like, some of them are close to 30% or over 30%. Just think, every time we swipe that credit card, and I'm saying we because I'm still being worked on, but every time we swipe that credit card, think of them right then and there charging us 30% for whatever the price is, right? Every month that you don't pay that off, they're going to keep charging you that 30% on top of what you swiped your card for $200 instead of just saving the money. Also going to talk about, I am also going to talk about the pay in fours, Afterpay, Affirm, Klarna, all that stuff. I know, and this is just my personal opinion. Like I said, I'm not certified financial planner. I would love to be. The requirements are insane. I don't know if I'm willing to go back to school because I didn't mention this, but I also have my master's degree and I had some debt from that. So I'm just not, I don't know if I'm willing to um, go back to school to get that certification, because I'm already in my career. So it's not like I'm planning another career. It would be great to plan another career as a financial planner. But for now, I'm just gonna learn it for myself, for my family, for my friends, and share with y'all here on YouTube. So what you can expect from me on this debt free journey is I would like to post once a week, preferably during the week, maybe like a Wednesday or something, but just to tell y'all where I am and give you some information. But like I said earlier, God just keeps putting it on my heart to make this YouTube channel. So I have it on my bingo board. Um, if you are not interested in finance, that is perfectly fine. I'll probably sprinkle some vlogs here and there, but um, I know deep down in my heart that there are so many people struggling with their finances and they just wish they had somebody to talk to. When you feel that way, when you're in a place of, gosh, I have all of this, like, right, you have all of this, trying to hold it in your hand, and you just need somebody to talk to about it. Like, that's where I want to be. I want to be there. I want to reply to people in the comments and say, girl, what you got going on? I want you to DM me. Like, I don't necessarily want to make a business out of this. I just want to help people. And even though before I have had finance clients that I've sat down with, but it's a different type of pressure where you're charging people and you're not certified. Like, I'm very big. I don't know if y'all can see, but like, I have my degrees and everything up on the wall, but I'm very big on credentials. And I think it's unfair for people to come and try to help you and charge you with something and they don't have the credentials. Like, we're not doing that. So I just want to help people. Yes, I have a tremendous amount of debt. And I keep saying tremendous amount because I have student loan debts, I have consumer debt, and then I just have like my mortgage. I don't have a car note or anything, but when you write down a number and you see how much, I'll be honest with y'all. I'm going back in my handy dandy notebook. So one day what I did was I wrote down every single bill that I had and I put it in categories. So things that are fixed that I know I have to pay every single month, no matter what, without debts. I wrote down my credit cards, my subscriptions, some miscellaneous things, and then I have a line of credit and I have a HELOC, so I make sure I maintain those things. So as I said, like, I'm able to pay this all every single month without robbing Peter to pay Paul. Honestly, I'm just learning out loud. And like I tell everyone, pick and choose what you want to use. With this journey for me, I won't be giving exact numbers. I mean, I'll share a range, but that's your personal business and it's my personal business as well. But I'm not perfect, but I do want to be relatable. Like, a lot of people are in debt that you don't even know. They're ashamed about it and they feel alone, because to come out and tell someone, like, I'm just using this as a random example, like, oh my God, I have $20,000 in debt. I don't know how I'm going to get out, blah, all the things. But you may be ashamed to talk to your family about it. You may be ashamed to talk to your friends about it. You may be ashamed to talk to your partner about it, your spouse, whoever it is. Like, it is a very shameful feeling. So no one's perfect, but we want to be relatable. We having some healthy boundaries, no exact numbers, but some ranges. I'm mainly going to focus on credit cards and my lessons learned. But honestly, what I thought about debt is not what I know now. I thought because you can pay the minimum payment every single month. Here and there, you drop a couple extra on it, pay it down, pay it off. Next thing you know, you done ran a car back up. The things that I thought I knew at 22 or 21, I think I got my first credit card at 18. In Bank of America. No offense, Bank of America. At the time I had Bank of America, my aunt had gotten me a Bank of America account because her and my uncle would help me out here and there in school, like in high school. And I would help them out in the summers and help them watch their grandkids and all the things. I got my first credit card at 18 because I went to Bank of America. I had accidentally overdraft. I went in to go fix the mistake. I was 17. I take that back. I was 17. And the lady said, if you had a credit card, then the overdraft would just be charged to the credit card. And I was like, well, I'm not 18. She was like, well, your birthday's coming up in June, so let's just go ahead and put everything in. And then I'll sign, on your birthday, I'll submit the application and you'll get the card. Dummy. I did not tell my mom. I ran that credit card up, y'all. I think it was like $700, $800 credit limit. You couldn't tell me nothing, baby. Okay, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was swiping. I was buying. I worked. I worked at Army base, so I would go to the PX. Man, baby, I got me some Coach shoes. I was at Wet Seal. I was at Charlotte Bruce. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing until my mom found the credit card paper. You get the credit card in the mail and it has the paper with the credit limit, your name, whatever. So I had hid it on my bookshelf in my bedroom, but I went to college and I forgot about it. So my mom pops up and was like, "Do you have a credit card?" I was like, "No, girl, no." She was like, "I found the paper." So my mom came, shout out to my mama. My mom came to my college dorm. She paid the credit card off because I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money to pay the minimum payment. And she called Bank of America and she made me close the credit card down. At the time, I thought it was the worst thing ever. I was like, "I heard you're not supposed to close credit cards," but my mom was really saving me from going in a whole bunch of debt earlier in life. But fast forward, that was 18. Fast forward to, I don't know, I'm 23, maybe 24, 23, 24. I needed tires for my car, and I was talking to an older coworker. She was like, "You don't have an emergency credit card?" And I'm like, "No, I don't have any credit cards." I ended up getting a Navy Federal credit card because that's who I was banking with, and they gave me a $6,000 credit limit. So I went from $700 to $800 that my mom paid off, and my mom, made me close it down, to here I am, $6,000 of credit, and I'm young. Ran that baby right on up. Okay, ran it up, and then when I say ran it up, like, I'm paying stuff down. I'm dropping a couple hundred on it. I get my little taxes back then. I'm, paying stuff. Of course, the credit limit keeps going up. So at the end, that credit limit ended up being like $18,000. Why do I need $18,000 in credit in my 20s? I don't know, but they gave it to me. So, needless to say, I have had a lot more credit cards since then. I assume because I was working this great job. And like I said, I'm not giving exact numbers, but I'll give ranges. I finally hit my goal of making six figures. My business is doing well. Like, the money is rolling in, but I am also still swiping. So I say that to say I'm not perfect, but if there's somebody out there with a similar story, like, I feel your pain, but what it comes down to is mindset. It comes down to discipline. It comes down to consistency. Where's your mindset when it comes to finances? Where's your mindset when it comes to making larger payments? Where's your mindset when it comes to contentment? A lot of things, and I can't even tell y'all everything I bought on these cards, okay? That's a story for another day. Like, I read so many books on personal finance and so many little nuggets. I've literally written them down, trying to get them out of my head. The biggest thing I want to focus on when I say mindset is understanding that no one talks about how emotionally draining it is to be in debt. Emotionally draining. You constantly think about it in the morning, in the afternoon, at night. You think about every dollar that you spend. It literally feels like guilt and shame and all the things. But what I will say is, forgive yourself for all of the purchases that you made, and go from there. Like, say, "You know what? I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. I'm not gonna feel shame about it. I am just going to focus on paying the debts down," whatever that means for you, whether that is cutting off some subscriptions, whether that is staying in the house on the weekends and enjoying your mortgage or your rent or whatever, cooking at home, all the things. So, but I just want to share and help other people, because if I had this information years ago, if I knew everything that I know today, which we all feel that way when we learn something new, oh my God, the space that I would be in would be amazing. And I'm not a very materialistic person. Like, I know some people are dropping $2,000-3,000 on bags, and I do like my sneakers. I do like nice technology because my background is in technology. I love new cameras and all the things. but at some point you have to be content with what you have. And I have been content over the years, but little things that I didn't think that were causing me to go further into debt, I've just repeated the cycle. And knowing what I know now, I just want to share and tell the world what I know. So the next video, we'll talk about the basics. We'll talk about how to document things. We'll talk about what exactly it means to be debt free. Why do you want to be debt free? What does that look like for your life? Like, I do want to talk about a lot of those things. So comment below if you have debt too. You don't have to tell me your number, but be like, girl, I'm right there. Or comment below and just say, like, I'm following the journey. Like, let me know where you are in your journey. If you have no debt, by all means, comment that too. Say, girl, I'm debt free. Come on over to my channel and watch my videos. Or, share some knowledge. So I'm excited to share and learn. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.